next question. I want to move on to the next question, and it's about strikers again. Before we get into the title race conversation, and I'm going to go to Anton. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to Ash first on this question. Fact or fiction? Arsenal should be concerned. Victor Gyokeres' lack of goals and performances is becoming a problem.
Is that even a fact or fiction question? It's true. It's a statement. Of course he's a problem. He's like, you're watching him every single week. Bro's just flopping over like a fish when he gets like tapped in the back or something. Like, he needs to stop that. I am a massive advocate of, I think referees should be giving out more yellow cards for simulation, because I am fed up at the moment of every single person just getting tapped and just falling over. Gyokeres is becoming a part of this. Like I said to you, Gyokeres, he's got 25 touches per game, per 90 on average. That's not that great. Like, even Isak's got more than that, which is crazy when I thought about that. Shots per 90, 2.4. That's obviously not good. I think, obviously, there's a bit of asterisks. You would say, oh, he's not had the likes of, like, say, Eze or Odegaard feeding him. But, look, there's a problem that I'm thinking he's having. He is bringing a lot of defenders towards him, which is helping other players get into the pitch. But he's... like, I mean, he scored his goals early on this season, and he's not scoring since. There's something not happening. I know Arteta's clearly putting his arm around him, and he knows he's going to become good, which, of course, I think Gyokeres is going to become good. But he's going through a big problem at the moment where he just can't get the back of the net. And you can see he's getting frustrated because he's not being able to finish chances. Like, I think what he should be able to do, which he's done in the past, just take that one touch out of him and smash it in the top corner or whatever. And he's struggling.
You know what I would say onto that point as well? By the way, to put it out there, I do think Gyokeres will become a success at Arsenal. But the reason why I think he needs to start scoring quite quickly, because one, you brought him in. A lot of us fans I spoke to said, listen, he's the final missing piece in the jigsaw. He just needs to hit the back of the net. We've got all our creative players around him. But and I was speaking to Potts about this earlier, if Kai Havertz comes back, bearing in mind, this is Arteta's guy. Arteta loves Havertz. We know this. If Havertz comes back and scores on his return he just hits the ground running straight away. I don't think he will, but if he was to, I don't think there could be a world where Arteta says, you know what, Gyokeres, you need to sit on the bench. And you know why I think he will do that? It's not like he's Isak that costs X amount of money. Like you alluded to earlier, Anton, he costs half the price. So it's not a thing where he's going to get noise from the boardroom. You have to start this player. Arteta might just go, you know what, I want to go with what I know. And
Havertz was also bought for around the same price as well. So.
Yeah, same price as well. And let me even add more context. Let's say at that point, you're 6-7 points clear and a Havertz comes in and he's scoring more than the Gyokeres. There is a world where Gyokeres could become a bench player, in my opinion. Let's have it right. A lot of us fans were saying Gyokeres was a Berta signing, not an Arteta signing. He opted for a Sesko. So if Havertz comes in and hits the ground running, I genuinely think there could be a world where Gyokeres doesn't get back into this team, or he sits out for the foreseeable, should I say?
And don't forget, Havertz is the highest paid player at Arsenal.
At Arsenal, exactly.
Well.
Yeah.
Wait until next week when Bukayo Saka all of a sudden becomes that. But yeah.
Oh, so then he'll only be the second highest paid player then, guys. It's all okay then. I look at Gyokeres, and the reason why I think Arsenal fans, maybe not concerned yet, but more question is, everything was that Arsenal have that guy who can do the link up and the hold up and the bring others into the game. They're buying Gyokeres for the fact he scored 97 goals in 102 games. They're buying a cold-blooded finisher who's going to be getting them 25, 30 goals a season, and he's going to be the difference maker. And so far, the only thing that he's getting praised for is doing exactly what they bought him not to do, which is he's really good at the link up and the hold up and bringing us into the game. I think he's been serviceable.
He ain't been good at the hold up, Tom. He hasn't.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I've been seeing praise for him for. Occasionally, he brings others into the game well. A lot of the time, I'm seeing him just get criticism. Like, did you see? If we are being brutally honest, we do have to tax his goals as well, because one of them came against Angers Forest, and I don't know how much we're allowed to count those games that happened against Angers Forest because they're like a fever dream now. But I just look at it and I think he's a very good striker. But
in Portugal,
it's again like, is he getting platformed the correct way at Arsenal? And I've got a little bit less sympathy because Arsenal are playing quite well at the minute.
What did I say? Do you know what I said? Do you know what I said towards the start of this season? Arteta what can he show that he's been able to do with number 9s? He's never been able to like manage a number 9. Like he's never had one.
Said this the other day.
Since Man City,
And the one he had, he shipped out in a Aubameyang. So,
but this is the whole point. He's never had a natural number 9, a centre forward. So you can't say Jesus or obviously Havertz or anything like that.
Respecting Ketia, please.
Hey, listen, well he's gone as well. Call me.
Yeah, I think, let me give my point before Anton comes in, because I know we've been speaking earlier. He's done some deep research on this. So let me just let me get on to my point about Gyokeres. Now, for me, Arsenal fans, I hear a lot of Arsenal fans coming out saying he's going to come good. He's going to come good. Based on what evidence, first of all? I'm not saying he's not going to come good. Yeah, but that's why I'm really screwing around. I'm being real. He may not come good. You don't know if he's going to come good. You don't know if he is. Based on what I've seen so far from Gyokeres, his touch isn't good. The ball doesn't stick. Yeah, he's had chances where he's just trying to pile drive it in the back of the net. There's no finesse about his game. Yeah, the goals that he scored, one of them's been a penalty against Leeds. Another one was a tap-in against Nottingham Forest. Great assist from Eze. And the third goal was a good goal, but even in that goal, he looked clunky. So for me, I think I'm going to give him more time. But right now, he has got me feeling like when Havertz comes back, I'm Havertz's biggest critic. That's one of the reasons why I've said Arteta out in the past, because that was a sackable offence, signing Havertz, making him the top paid player at the club. He's got me thinking to myself now, was I being too harsh on Havertz now? Because now I'm starting to realise the stuff Havertz was doing when he's in the team, and he's got me questioning. When Havertz comes back, I'm slipping him straight back into the team if you're still not scoring goals, Gyokeres. We haven't got time to be nice.
Arteta would as well. That's his guy.
That's his guy.
Dan is standing there with Stockholm syndrome, brother. He's like,
listen, I'm telling you, Havertz comes back fit. Gyokeres is in trouble. If you're not firing Gyokeres, Arteta is going to hook you. Mark my words. Arteta will hook you.
There are some things as well to Gyokeres' game that confuse me. Why is he so insistent on taking the ball dead wide and then trying to shoot from dead narrow angles? Like,
well, I thought he scored like 60 or so goals in Lisbon, but yeah.
Yeah,
do you know what?
Again, it's a case of some of the sort of mechanics of it don't look right, and then something that I think he's struggling with a lot more in the Premier League than he was in Portugal. When he goes into these wider areas to try and do the one-on-one battles, he's losing a lot more of them than he was in Portugal. Centre backs now are just come on, I'll go one-on-one with you, and I'll just barge out the way, and he's going down too soft.
And he's going into these physical battles constantly. Instead of you trying to get free, yes, he's making some good runs. You're constantly getting into these battles with players, and I'm just seeing you on the ground constantly, Gyokeres. Why are you always on the ground? You don't build up to be this strong player. Yeah, you're going to bully play. It's not looking like that right now. He's the one getting bullied.
Dan, I can't remember you alluded to it earlier, but it's that, someone said, I think it was Tel actually, that said maybe Isak's coming into a team that gets more respect, so there's less space to run in behind. If you look at a lot of Gyokeres' goals for Sporting Lisbon as well, there's loads of space to run into. Normally it's on the transition and whatnot, right? Don't you think that's another problem as well? Because Arsenal, look,
100%.
we've already seen what you're on this season. Everyone's going to sit back against you. Many teams aren't really going to have a go at you, bar the Liverpools, the Cities, the teams in the top 6 roughly. The lower teams won't. That could be a problem for him as well. A very big problem.
The only thing I've got in his defense, what we've been saying is that he's been making some good runs and he ain't been getting the service. We've been passing the ball a bit slow. So when we're meant to take that risky pass to put him in, it ain't been happening. When Odegaard come back the other day, it looked like that's what he was trying to do with Gyokeres, but we ain't seen that. So like I said, I'm giving him 19 games to make half a judgment. End of the season, I'll make my full judgment on him. Will he come good? I don't know, but I'm not going to be one of these fans sitting there saying, he's going to come good. He's going to come good. You don't know if he's going to come good or not. From what we've seen, he hasn't come good. He hasn't come good so far.
I think he takes a bit long to pull the trigger as well. There's been many Arsenal games I've watched. Hit it then, and he'll take... In the Premier League, all you need is half a second for someone to clatter into you and win the ball. I feel like he takes a bit long. But again, I know you're saying you can't just assume that he'll be a success, Dan. But from what I've seen, albeit it's the Portuguese league, it still is 100 goals in the last 2 seasons.
The teams he was scoring against, Roms, the lower teams he was scoring against, what level are we talking about? League One. That's where these Portuguese teams are at, the lower teams. That's where they're at. Grimsby Town. Do you get it?
Anton, what are you saying here? Is Gyokeres this problem? The fictional fact question. Should you be concerned? Is his lack of goals and performances becoming a problem for your title push this season? Anton,
Okay,
over to you.
I think it's a bit of a loaded question because I could answer yes or no to multiple things. Am I concerned? A little bit. Is he a problem? No. Has he made Arsenal worse? I would say definitely not. Look, I got to big up James, of course, formerly now of Arsenal Fan TV. I was watching his video on the Gooniverse reacting to the player ratings for Arsenal against Fulham. And he pointed out to me, it was about a 5 to 10 minute monologue, somewhere there in between, he was basically saying that Arsenal are now accessing the higher central areas of the pitch this season a lot more compared to when we were with Havertz. That it's actually like one thing I'll say, look, was I expecting more goals from Gyokeres at this point? Yes. Is this the Gyokeres I envision at Arsenal? No. I will say that, and I'll be fair because I can't sit there and criticize Isak and then defend Gyokeres in the same, with the same points that you guys were with Isak. But what I'll say the difference here is that, as James was alluding to in his video, guys, go check him out, go watch that. Which is that who had a really good game on the other day against Fulham? Saka. Saka is feeling a lot more comfortable playing off of Victor Gyokeres than he was playing off of Kai Havertz because Gyokeres allows Arsenal to play balls into behind, which Havertz was not. So Havertz was playing more like a wall.
You're trying to tell me Saka is now looking better because Gyokeres has been there. Come on now.
Yeah, but here's the difference as well, and I said it the other day. Victor Gyokeres, people respect Victor Gyokeres. You respect his record. They know that Arsenal have brought him in. They know that he's a big time striker in this role with a good big reputation. That you cannot say the same of Kai Havertz. Defenses don't play Kai Havertz the way they do Gyokeres. Saka's no longer seeing doubles. Saka is being able to take on one man one-on-one, get past him, and impact the game a lot more. And you're seeing Saka flourish, really, since he's come back from his injury because he's getting a lot more space now than he was with Havertz. Like, I think that
I disagree.
He scored two goals.
I think the best version of Saka we saw was the one before his injury at the midway point of last season. And that was with Havertz up front. I thought that was the best version of Saka we've seen.
At the same time, this version of Saka has only been about 2 or 3 games. So,
he's played 6 Premier League games this season. 6 Premier League games this season, and he scored 2.
Not good enough. Just say it, Anton. It's not been good enough.
But
you can't just.
First of all, I already did.
Listen,
you guys missed the part at the start what I said.
You are Gyokeres all over flipping Saka's meat. That's what you're doing. Chill. Don't do that, man. Listen, you said flipping Saka was that bloody England's talisman. You need to be able to take a step back and think, yo, mate, do you know what? Maybe Arteta needs to like do better because he's struggling with the centre forward position. He is.
But see that is an area I'm not going to go into because you guys were just literally blaming the Alexander Isak thing on a slot, and I'm not doing the same thing here. I refuse to go down that avenue.
This is about Arsenal.
No. But no, because I came here slating Alexander Isak, and I want to be very careful in not being hypocrite when defending Victor Gyokeres. And my point is, have Arsenal gotten better since they've signed Victor Gyokeres? Yes. Have Liverpool gotten better since they've signed Alexander Isak? I would argue they got worse. So that's the kind of the difference.
That's the most baseline analysis with no.
It's too early in the season to be talking like that, Anton. It's too early. We need to wait.
No, but this conversation is happening today. This conversation isn't happening in May. I'm all about what you've done right now, not about what you're going to do in the future. If you want to have that conversation, we're having a different conversation about both of those players.
Remember, Anton, I'm not saying that Gyokeres is going to flop. I'm just saying from what we've seen from him so far, we can't be shouting out, oh, he's going to come good. Right now, it's questionable, and it is a bit concerning. You know what they're saying? He's running around with Timberland.
It's not concerning from the point of view that the team is winning.
That's what I'm saying. So if let's
That's
say
the
we wasn't
mistake
winning,
we made, Anton. When
Yeah.
we're 5 out of 5 and there's things to call out, we kept saying, "Oh, we're just, you know it, Tom. We're just
No, but
winning."
here's
Don't
the
figure it out.
difference. Here's the
Dan
difference.
said
You
it,
guys
yeah,
have conceded
Dan,
11 goals in the Premier
listen,
League this
Dan
season.
said it. Dan said it. Listen, see if we wasn't winning, the slap Gyokeres would be getting right now, and then
That's
you've got the cheek
that.
of some people. Oh, when Henry came in, he didn't score. Let's not compare the great man Thierry Henry. When he come into Arsenal, he started as a bloody winger. He didn't come as some big build striker that was meant to be top striker, winning Ballon d'Or awards and all of this. At the end of the day, he hasn't been good enough. Let's give him some more time and let's just see what happens. That's all I'm saying here.
Look,
I'm not saying he's gonna flop.
I started out by saying, has he reached the expectation that I expected of him so far this season? No, he has not.
He's reached
He's
my
not.
He's reached my because when he came in, Anton, I was the man.
Wait. So you thought he would have 3 goals in 9 matches?
I said, let's not get carried away. Dan was telling me he's going to score 30 plus goals. I said, no, wait a minute. First of all, we don't know how he's going to slip in. Second of all, we don't know if Arteta can manage him properly. That was one of my big arguments that I had with Dan. Can Arteta deal with the number 9? Yeah. And then I said, I'm predicting 15 to 18 goals, not 30 plus. That's what I'm predicting for Gyokeres. And right now, he might not even get that. And what's going to happen is Gyokeres is going to score a goal, and your Arsenal fans are going to come out and be screaming, "I told you so! Look, I told you so! Look."
Oh yeah, I will.
Obviously, the biggest problem with the Gyokeres and Isak debate is obviously Isak has proven it in the Premier League. So that's where, like, when you have the debate between the two, that's where the issue is. When I've been watching Arsenal, I have seen an improvement.
I disagree with that, by the way, Ash, because I'd say that over their entire career. I mean, Gyokeres is a much better goal scoring, balls in back of net in entire career. Gyokeres absolutely destroys Isak.
No, but
Isak had 25 goals last year. Gyokeres had 50 plus last year.
When Alexander Isak was bagging hat tricks against Real Madrid, Victor Gyokeres was doing it against Derby in the Championship. They're not comparable.
Dan made the point. Dan made the point earlier. One has played in the Premier League and La Liga. The other one's played in League One and the Portuguese League and Championship. Like, come on. We have to kind of give balance here.
You got to give it some context. Context is very important. Like I said, Gyokeres his performance has improved. Like when you watch,
that's the point, though.
But the problem is his performance has improved, but his goal scoring hasn't. That's where the issue is. Like, he's going down too easy. He needs to be able to do a lot more of, like, touching the ball out of his body and tapping it straight into the top ends. I think the Portuguese league and stuff like that, he's been given a lot more time. I think the closing down and the intensity of the Premier League.
Can I throw one?